What's up, guys? Jebber Gaming Jaws here, coming to you with another video. My last video that I put up was top reasons that I love gaming and collecting, and I thought that I would come out with another video with the alternative, which is top things that I hate about this hobby, because there are a lot of things that get really under my skin and that are frustrating. And there's a lot of times where I kind of like have to take a time out or have to take a break from something, because people are annoying, or prices are driving me crazy, or sometimes I get burned out and gaming just isn't that much fun, and collecting is kind of tough to do, and maybe you don't have the money for it at the time, and things like that can be tough. So all right, I would say the first thing that can be just so hard for me about gaming is when there's a lot of fighting. It's awesome being able to be engaged with social media, but the downside, obviously, as everybody knows, is that it's a double-sided thing. You know, a lot of times you find people who are similar to you, who are very passionate about the things that you're passionate about, and you have good discussions, and that's always awesome. But it's really annoying when it's just like, do we have to argue about everything? Like there's so many times where I'm like, you'll be a big time fan of something, and then you go like get into a group that's related to it, and it's just like the bickering just goes on and on and on, and sometimes it's just like, man, I just don't understand. Like, gaming, it doesn't matter. Gaming doesn't matter. It's supposed to be fun. It's like like if you're not having fun with gaming and collecting, then you're doing it wrong, because that's what the point of it is. Like, there is enough hard stuff in everybody's lives. Like, people have, health problems, money problems, family problems. The lists go on and on for every individual person, and it's like, I think for so many people, they're looking for that escape into their fun, hobby that can just be like this oasis away from the troubles of life. And it's like, when people bring their drama and their bullshit into it, it's like, man, this just really like is deflating. And it's in those times where a lot of the times for myself, I have to retreat from social media. I have to go back, sit in my game room by myself or with my own friends who feel safe to me, and be like, all right, this is a good thing. This I can still, be this can still be an oasis for me. I just have to put up the boundaries that are necessary at the times. So that's something that's tough. It's just a bummer that we can't just like look at gaming all the time as just a lot of fun. There's a lot of things that are frustrating, like companies. I get frustrated sometimes, like with Nintendo doing their scarcity bullshit. A lot of companies are doing a whole lot of crap with like DLC and just like these shady kind of dealings with trying to get money out of people, and it is frustrating. And I think that there is a place for standing up and saying that this is wrong and we won't support this and all this. But at the same time, I'm like, you can't just like have that become the main point. Like, you're just always angry about gaming. It's like when that happens, and I'm so thankful that retro gaming exists because of that. It's like when you get sick of DLC, when you get sick of money practices, when you get sick of all these big companies trying to do this bullshit, you can just go back and put a cartridge in to an old Nintendo system, and it's like all of that shit goes away. It's so nice to be able to do that. One thing that's really tough for me in the collecting scene, I'm just so tired of people being obsessed with value. I've gotten to this point, I don't know what it is. I'm just burned out on hearing about, values of games. And, it just seems like people so often, instead of talking about the games themselves, which is the thing that matters, it's like people want to talk about what is expensive. And, you know, there's a part of that that's okay, I think, and I do focus on that sometimes, but it's like, which is taking up the precedence. If the monetary side is what you're thinking about the most, then something's off. Because if it's not stirred from, if collecting is not from a pure love of the hobby, like if you're collecting something because it's rare or valuable and not because you just love games, like I just think there's something off there. That can just be tough. It's funny to me that like sometimes people will not be interested in something, but then when they hear it's rare or valuable, all of a sudden it's like they want it. It's like, what the fuck? Like the game is the exact same. So I don't know. I get sick of just the obsession with value. Like, value is something that's there. These are collectible things. Like, we all like them. There's a lot of people that like them, so obviously they kind of, they hold some value. Like, one thing that I don't ever want to do. I've talked to so many different people. Like, I'll just walk into a game store and people will be like talking, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I put all my collection into this app, and it told me how much it is, and it's worth this much." And I'm like, I will never do that. I do not want to know what this is worth, because to me, this isn't going anywhere. Like, I would have to be in very dire straits to be like, I'm selling my games. Um, Sometimes like I'll trade something off for something else, but it's like, it's a give and take in collecting, and it's like, what do I value and want the most right now? So that's one thing. But this whole, like, just getting these big dollar signs in your eyes about your game collection, it kind of just grosses me out, and it just takes away some of, like, the purity of the fun of just collecting for collecting's sake. Something else that's really hard for me is, like, there are so many collecting groups online, like Facebook, for example, that I'll go on to, and somebody will be like, "Oh, I went yard sailing today and I found this awesome find." And so many jealous people just get on there and they're like, "Oh, bullshit, you didn't find that, blah, blah, blah." It's like, man, like, if I found a good deal, I would feel hesitant to post it because everybody's just going to say it's not true, like, why, what is with this? Like, how many, I don't know, this like skepticism and this like belief that people are just trying to like impress people with their finds, which I don't even want to get into, like, the dysfunction that would be there if somebody really was trying to do that. But it's like, let's be excited for each other. Like, when you get a good deal, I'm excited for you. If I get a good deal, I want you to be excited for me. It's like, we can all just continue to collect this stuff, and it's not like somebody else getting something means that you don't get something. I just can't stand that mentality. And I feel like if people have that mentality, like, get out of the hobby. It's not the hobby for you. So that can be a really annoying thing. One thing that has gotten kind of tough is that there was a period in time where I was out hunting a lot, and it was really fun. And then I did kind of just get deflated with it a bit. And I think that one of the things that happened is, like, I don't mind other collectors out there looking for games. That's not my problem. What's a bummer is, like, it's become so well known as a hobby that, you go to yard sales and it's like these grandmas and grandpas have their, Wii and their Xbox 360 games out there, and they're thinking they're worth gold, and it's just so frustrating. It's like, you know, trying to find good deals anymore is just so much harder. And eventually, like, it just kind of knocks the wind out of your sails, like when you go, all the time and you just keep on coming up empty. It can be really deflating. And I know that, like, sometimes then you just need to take a break, do something else, just play your games, play what you have, and then maybe eventually you'll get to where you want to do it again. It's not like you have to go out and hunt, so, whatever. If it's not working for you, then you can stop a little bit. But I miss the times when it was like, you could regularly go out and, like, you wouldn't regularly find gold, but I mean, you could go out and, like, find decent deals, and be paying a little less than retail or eBay or something. And that's just gotten so much harder. And that is a bit deflating. Like, it's fun collecting. It's fun finding good deals. It's fun actually just finding stuff. It's not even like it's just gotten more expensive. It's actually just gotten harder to find anything. And that can be really tough. A lot of my game hunting that I do anymore, I just don't have the energy to do a lot out in the wild, and I kind of just go to game stores quite often, or I'll grab something on eBay if I really, really need it quickly. So, let's see. One other thing, do I want to talk about this? One thing that can be kind of tough about gaming, especially like as an adult or whatever, it's not that looked down upon, but it's kind of tough that, like, sometimes it just feels like people don't get it, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys can understand that. And, that's just what it is, like, you have to be who you are. You can't, like, nobody, it's not like everybody's always going to understand you or understand your love for something or your passion for something. But, one of the flip sides of that is that it's like, sometimes I just wish that there was more people who could enjoy it, who could like appreciate it. Um, it's like when you're a kid, everyone was into video games. Like when I was a kid, it was like all of my friends like to play games, and it's like now just so many people are busy and have kids of their own, and that's fine and whatever. And a lot of people are just tired, and so many people like just don't want to play games. It's so funny. Like, um, my brother was saying how much he likes to watch me play games, but he doesn't like to play as much himself. And I think it's just like, he prefers like a passive form of entertainment, which I think is why a lot of people like watching movies and TV shows more than they like gaming. For myself, I just love gaming. I love the active participation that it takes. So, all right, this is just me kind of bitching about some things that are frustrating to me about the hobby. I'm sure that I'll think of more. Let me know what things are annoying to you guys in the comments. Let me know if any of the things that I said resonate with you. Or if any of the things I said you think aren't really a problem. All right. Hope you're having a good one. Later. Jebber Gaming Jaws out.